Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
What's good? What's good? What is good, people? Welcome to another preview show. Big up everyone who's in the chat already. Love as always. Make sure you smash that like button. And we had to bring you a little special one for this big game. And you know what? It is actually a big game. It's a big game on both fronts. This game this time round means more than it's ever meant, maybe in the last 10 years, to both clubs. Normally one club may have something riding on it. This is the first time both clubs have something riding on it. So we're back to the big boy old school rivalry. But first, I've got to introduce my brilliant guest as always. I've got my man, the main godfather, Grizz, in the building. What's going on, bro?
Jeff, it's all good, man. Absolute pleasure. Humble to be on, man.
Come on. And I've got my main man, Laurie, who in my opinion is probably the most humble Arsenal fan I've ever met in my life, which is why I love him so much. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, it's good. I'm just practicing my shadow boxing because
you need to slow down, Laurie. You need to slow down.
it's got that big fight feel about
We haven't even started that Gegen pressing yet, man. You need to slow down.
It's reminiscent, man. It's got that big fight feel to it, you know. We don't get butterflies in the stomach thing, man.
It does. So what I'm gonna do, that's why I didn't even wear the Liverpool attire. I'm going to be the host in the middle. You know what I mean? And Grizz and Laurie are going to be the ones chopping it up. We're not going to do a 2-on-1. I'm just going to sit in the middle, be impartial. You know, maybe it's impartial as these Man City refs, but we'll see how it goes, innit? But before we get into it, people, as always, you know, with all the previews, I just have to give you lot a little reminder of our wonderful sponsor for this show, FansBet, as always. Bringing you that quality bet, and you guys will know by now, they do a lot for charity, which is why we are so proud to be a part of them. Loads of the money that they make from bets and stuff will go to certain foundations, including Kenny Dalglish's foundation. So that's why we love them as well. And on the welcome offer, if you hit the link in the description, you will get bet £10, get £30 in free bets plus 10 free spins. That's for all new customers, guys. So make sure you hit the link and go through our link, because that way they know you came through us. Do you know what I mean? Show your Kopish love. And for every sign up, obviously we get a big up. And they have a new offer as well, which is a 200% sign up at the moment. So you get double the money on your sign up. So you can't go wrong, guys. So make sure you check out FansBet, and link is in the description, guys. And as you lot know, I made 50 quid last time on Diaz to score. So, yeah, I'm not going to give my tips away anymore unless you lot follow. I need to see your following before I'm going to start giving away my tips. You know what I mean? And I cashed out in the end on the Man City being the last team in my accumulator, and Crystal Palace did the big one. So my cash out was worth it as well. So, you know what I mean? You got to love it. You got to love it. So, guys, let's get into this one. This is a big one. As I said in the opening, I don't think this game has meant more to both clubs for a very, very long time. So I'm going to start with Laurie, because obviously you're the op, and you're the one who's at home as well. So I'll give you the honor going first, bro. So, because you're going to give me a more realistic feel. You're not going to give me the Odegaard is the new Bergkamp. You're not going to give me the, two more players and Arsenal are going to win the league. You're not going to give me any of that, yeah? Because that's what I'm hearing, bro. And I can't lie. Like, it's confusing. Bro, you give me Arsenal's point of view, bro. How you lot feeling going into this one?
Modestly confident is the way I'd probably describe it, because, listen, man, we know what we're up against. This is a massive game, as I alluded to earlier. And I'm genuinely pumped for this game, man. I'm genuinely excited about this game, because for the first time in a long time playing Liverpool, I actually feel a sense of confidence rather than foreboding. You know what I mean? Normally when we play Liverpool, I'm like, rah, can we get out of there with a you know what I mean, half decent result. I hope we don't get smashed type of thing, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Although the most recent games have been a bit closer than some of the previous games. I mean, now in the league, in the corresponding fixture, you thrashed us, but the 2 League Cup games were decidedly closer. But for some reason, man, we've had a lot of problems with Liverpool over the past few years. But for the first time in a long time, I'm actually looking at this game as a game that we can win. I'm calling this game the form derby because it's like first and second in the Premier League form teams playing each other, Liverpool being 1 and us being 2. But I think the fact that we're at home, the fact the vibe is so good right now, the confidence levels are good. Speaking to a lot of other Arsenal fans, man, we're quite optimistic, but like I said, quietly so. Not shouting the odds. I don't know what other Arsenal fans you may have come into contact with recently, but I'm not shouting the odds.
Yeah, there's a lot of them shouting the odds, bro. I can't
really?
even lie.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm being honest with you, bro, you guys over at AFTV are the only people that have drawn me back into believing there's some fans that have a bit of sense, bro, like you and Robbie and Turkish. Bro, I'm telling you, my disdain for Arsenal only comes from what people say in my group chat. Like, I'll be honest with you, bro. If it wasn't for the people in my group chat, I would have no issue with Arsenal. But the people in my group chat will they'll Arsenal will win a game and they'll be coming for me. And I'll be like, bro, Liverpool weren't even playing. Why are you talking to me for, bro? Why are you talking to me, bro? Like, you want my approval or so? I don't get it, bro. It's weird. It's weird.
Well, at least Liverpool not trying to cancel the game this time. That's one thing.
Look, I think we might have did you a favour in the end when we did that, right?
But you are trying it on a bit with the Mo Salah thing. I see the mind games. I mean,
no, but he did legit limp off, which I was going to let Grizz talk about.
Grizz.
No. All right, you know, Grizz. Let's get to this, bro, because you are the in the know as well. Talk to me, bro. Mo Salah, how was the situation with him, bro?
No, he was legit injured, man. He was legit, because you know when Mo Salah's sitting down. No, you know when he's sitting down and he can't play no more and he can't go and continue scoring, because that man loves to stay on the pitch because he knows he's gonna score. Like, he wants to score. He's after that golden boot. He's after records X, Y, and Z. Every week, man's breaking records. So you know when he's sitting on the floor saying he needs to come off, you know it's serious. Because that guy is rock solid, man. I'm telling you. So he was injured. He was 100% injured. He came off, and Jurgen Klopp said he trained today, and they're going to assess how he feels after training. I don't think there's mind games involved. You know, Laurie, I hear that. I don't think so, because either way, you know, whether he plays or he don't play, because you got to remember he wasn't playing in the League Cup semi-final. He didn't even play there. So none of the big boys up front, apart from Jota, played. So. And that was quite comfortable. So he's going to want to play. Obviously, we don't know yet until how he feels after training. But it takes a brave man to tell Mo to relax and sit this one out, because he's gonna smell blood, man, and he's gonna want to out there, man. He's gonna want to be out there. But yeah, he was genuinely injured. I don't think it's a matter of mind games, but you know what I mean. If Arsenal,
he may well have been genuinely injured. But to me, there's absolutely no way he was going to miss this game if humanly possible. So it would have kept
I hear that
injury to have kept him out.
No, I hear that. Absolutely. He hates missing games. He hates missing games. And now, especially as Drift said, this is, you know, while he was saying it, right, I was thinking, is it one of the most important games for both of us in recent times, where it's meant something for both of us? And I think you're right, Drift. It's just, apart from the League Cup semi-final.
Yeah. Obviously, in the league. I mean, obviously in the league, yeah.
So it's mad. It's fucking proper mad. I mean, Arsenal, and I agree with Laurie. I said it on the Big Six yesterday. I said these are the 2 best teams in the country. Rattled all the other fans, but it is what it is. I'm here for that shit.
Certainly on current form.
Of course they are on current form.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Chelsea said, "No, we've won 5 games in a row as well." I see, if I look at the quality of performances and the quality of goals that Arsenal tucked away compared to you guys. You know what I mean?
Could I just say as well, as for Chelsea, what are they on right now, man? What is all that? I mean, I see where they've now, I'm referring to this request to play that FA Cup game behind closed doors. I think the breaking news is that they've rescinded that request. They've withdrawn it. But, bro, what are they doing, bro? Like, whoever it was in that Chelsea hierarchy who thought to submit that request, they clearly have no feeling. They don't know how to read the football room, bro. Like the minute some fans were showing a little bit of empathy for Chelsea's situation. Yeah, with regards to Abramovich. Because, let's be honest, it's not the fans' fault as such, which a lot of them have been very keen to say. Yeah. So the minute you get some fan showing a little bit of empathy with football club, along comes Bruce Buckley.
And they fuck it
Oh
up.
my gosh.
Anyway,
I know I'm digressing, but I just had to get that in. What is he doing?
No, bro, you know what? I reckon they're going to be fine. So let's take the shots while we can, innit? That's just how it goes, bro. Like, we know they're going to be fine. Like, I knew for a fact that they weren't going to be in the mud. It was just funny while it lasted, innit? They'll probably end up with an owner more richer than Abramovich. How about that? Can you get more jammier than that? I mean, come on. It is what it is.
You heard about their request to have the FA Cup game against Middlesbrough at the weekend played behind closed doors. Did you hear about it?
No,
I haven't actually heard of it.
That's what I was referring to. Yeah.
No self-awareness, man. Nothing. They're like, we're in trouble. We're in the docks because of our owner doing XYZ allegedly, right? Or whatever. Not allegedly, actually, because that's why he's sanctioned. And that's why he's running, because he did do it, right? That's the way I look at it. And I'm brave enough to say it. Right? So our owners, we ain't got no fans there. So you should have no fans there. Like, what the fuck? How does that make sense? How are you trying to hurt Middlesbrough? How are you trying to hurt how are you trying to make sure that they don't get no bread out of this? It don't make sense. No self-awareness. And that's why, Laurie, that's why they took back the statement, because they knew this don't make no sense. Let's just quickly take it back.
And a club like Middlesbrough, a club like Nottingham Forest, the two teams who are obviously hosting us this weekend, this is what they want. Like, obviously, they want to win the tournament, but they love the big money, the TV money they can get from this direct, because they don't really get opportunities like this very often. So for Chelsea to try and take that away, that's disgusting behaviour.
I don't know if
that is actually disgusting behaviour.
Have a look at some of the comments that Steve Gibson's directed at Chelsea. He's gone in, man. And I don't blame him, because it just shows a complete and utter lack of, like Grizz said, awareness and, you know what I mean?
Yeah, respect, self-awareness.
Just disrespectful. But anyway, so sorry, Drifty, I know I've digressed.
No, that's cool, because I didn't know that, so I'm glad I know that. Anyway, now I hope that's extra motivation for Middlesbrough to put them to the sword now, do you know what I mean? Like they did to a few others.
Because what it was, because Chelsea weren't allowed to have any fans there, they submitted a request to the FA to have the game played behind closed doors. I'm still like struggling to comprehend how they could do such a.
So I'm guessing if they get through to the semi-final, they want Wembley to be empty as well.
Well, presumably.
Or the rest of their home games, because they can't. Because so at home, they can't sell their tickets to away fans. Away fans can't buy tickets. So maybe every time they play at home, the away fans should say, "Oh, we want an empty stadium if we can't be there as well."
Yeah, let's make it fair, innit?
Let's make it fair.
Chelsea. Anyway.
Back to the realness. Yeah, man, I'm really pumped for this game for tomorrow, man. I'm really looking forward to it. And not just because I think that we can win. I think it's just a massive game. After the game, your game against Palace, which I thought Palace, they rode their luck at times. But, you know, I mean, fair play to Vieira. He's got that team playing. He's getting the best out of that team at the moment. And I think, if anything now, that's added extra impetus to the game against Liverpool, our game against Liverpool, because like you guys both said, we both need this, you know what I mean? My only slight concern is that whenever you get a game like this that is so meaningful to both sides, sometimes we've seen it in local derbies in the past, the two will almost negate each other and you get a sort of boring stalemate. So I hope that doesn't happen, because there's so much on the line for both teams that it could be one of those where the approach, I can't see Klopp doing that. Mate, well, you guys will be able to explain better than me, but the approach might be, we don't want to lose. But then Liverpool, you have to win, really, don't you? So even more so than I would argue.
And Arsenal versus Liverpool is actually the highest scoring fixture in Premier League history. So history suggests that it's just goals in this game, which it pretty much always is, no matter what decade you go and watch. It is always just goals, isn't it, when Liverpool and Arsenal play. So, all right, going into this game now, I'll start with you this time, Grizz. As it is important, we're obviously going to be trying to go full strength. because even though we've got a lot of games, the FA Cup game will probably be where we'll rotate. Like the Premier League is what's more important per se, because of the opposition. So give me your first 11, bro, for this game.
Rah, put it on me like that, yeah. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one because of the squad suddenly being fully fit, and we got a hell of a squad, man. And they're all playing well as well. I can't even say anyone's playing badly. Like, some are not firing on all cylinders, but no one's playing badly. So, according to Klopp, only Milner and Tsimikas are out, and neither of them were going to start anyway. So, I think the back four picks itself. It's going to be Alisson, Trent, Robbo, and then Matip and Virgil. Even though Matip, I don't know if you remember, Triff, I don't know if you all agree, but in that second leg at Emirates, he was a little shaky, you know what I mean, until half time when I think he got substituted at half time for Konate.
Was he not coming back from he had like the vid, didn't he, I think, and then that was his first game after coming back or something, because didn't he miss the first game?
I can't remember exactly, but people in the chat will always 100% correct us, but I think he did. But I think he was a bit shaky, gave the ball away a bit. Do you know what I mean? And Martinelli was like trying to attack him at every time. So, but I think we're going to go with the experience of Matip, man. You can't, at this stage of the season, it ain't a time, as you said, to rotate in the league. Maybe in the cup competition, in the FA Cup for sure. But I think the back four picks itself. Fabinho is the number one name on the midfield. Like, you put his name down and then you build around him.
Right.
So
not Van Dijk.
No, not in the midfield.
Sorry.
Yeah. In the midfield, you put Fabinho, because we've got about 7-8 midfielders, but you put Fabinho down first.
Yeah.
Then you pick the other two. The other two is a tricky one, man. It literally could be like, he didn't play Thiago against Brighton. It could be he gave him a nice little 20 minutes at the end. It could saving him for Arsenal. Naby ain't put a foot wrong.
He's been playing brilliantly last couple of games.
Naby ain't put a foot wrong, bro. And then you got Skip on the other side, who, since the criticism, and rightly so, because he was playing poor for about a month, has come back strong last 2-3 games. So, do you drop Hendo? When I say drop, but you know what I mean. Like, do you rotate Henderson, Elliott, Jones?
Hendo loves him some Arsenal. Hendo does love playing Arsenal. He always plays well against Arsenal.
Then Hendo, Fabinho, and I'd say the way he's done the substitutions, Thiago. You know what I mean? But I would be very happy if Naby started. Absolutely happy if Naby started. You know, the way he's playing. And then up front, man, you got to help me out here, man. Up front, we need two brains here, man, to pick up the front. I think Jota starts.
Do you think so? We're down the middle, yeah?
I think Jota starts. I think the way Jota's got this eye for Arsenal, I think Jota's nailed.
I hear that. But you know what, though? I love the idea of Jota coming off the bench with half an hour if we still need a goal. And I think the way Mane's been playing down the middle has been exemplary. I think a lot of shade is always put on Mane, and it really does my head in. And I think a lot of people aren't having the respect to understand he's learning a new position while he's playing. And he's got 4 goals and 1 assist in 5 games in that new position. What more do you want? What more do you want from him? Even if his performance isn't outstanding, 4 goals and 1 assist in 5 games, what more do you want from the guy? Do you know what I mean? A lot of people are forgetting as well. No shade on Mo, because we know Mo is our superstar. But Mane's only got 4 goals less than Mo if you take away penalties. So when you really deep it, Mane is not having a bad season, but for some reason, he just goes under the radar. Like, it's really weird. I don't get it. But I would stick with Mane down the middle and go Diaz and Mo either side, and then have Jota on the bench. But I mean, I don't know what you think of that.
I think it's going to be different. I think we're going to freshen it up. I think this is just my opinion. I think it's going to be Jota, and I think Bobby's going to come back as well.
Do you think Bobby loves him some Arsenal?
This is it. This is it. You know? And them man's love playing from the back, which is credit to them, because that's the way Arteta wants them to play. And they've been very, very successful this season playing that way, sticking to their principles. So if they're going to try playing at the back with Jota and Bobby pressing them, good luck. That's all I'm saying. Good luck. But yeah, I think it's going to be Jota, Bobby, and Mo. I just think that, man. That's if Mo know after effects of training yesterday. Now, of course, that means our stuff. How shall I put him? How shall I describe Diaz, man? How shall I describe him, man? Like,
a revelation.
Revelation. Lethal injection. He's come like a proper injection that needed. We're not a booster. The booster. Every man's been asking, have you had a booster done? Have you had a booster done? Bro, Liverpool had a booster done. And that booster was Luis Diaz, man. The guy
it feels good. It feels good to not to be right. I'm not in this game to be right. But when people are like, really? Drift, you want Diaz? And I'm like, guys, Diaz is the one I want. And then we get him, and everybody seems to think I'm in the know now. And he just lights it up from the beginning. Like, guys, I said this. Like, this kid, I knew this kid was Liverpool all over. Like, I knew it. And lo and behold, he's come in. And I think a lot of people are forgetting he's played a lot of football, which is why we do have to be careful with him as well, because the mental and physical adaptation to the new league does take its toll on you. He played a whole Copa America, didn't get no rest, playing every week in the Champions League and in the league for Porto. So just because he's new to us, don't mean he ain't going to get tired himself. He's had a long year.
And
do you know what I mean?
He's played in the Copa, as you said, Porto, and now he's walking into the most toughest physical league in the world and into every competition. I think man's second or third game was a League Cup final against one of the hardest oppositions. So he's been playing non-stop. That's what I'm thinking. He has to have a break somewhere. I personally wouldn't give him a break tomorrow because Laurie's going to tell us if he's up against Tomiyasu or Cedric, more likely. I'm not sure. But either one's going to not be sleeping well tonight. That's all I'm saying, man. Either it's Tomiyasu's got the nod or Cedric's got the nod. So I personally wouldn't drop Diaz. I'd drop him for the FA Cup. I'd rest him for the FA Cup. I think Klopp, the way Jota played in that second leg, I think he's got to bring Jota back, man.
So just before we move on to the Arsenal setup, the one thing I want to pick your brain on, Grizz, Arsenal's front line is very quick. As much as Matip is an absolute world-class centre-back, would Ibu not suit this game based on the speed, because it gives us less to worry about playing our high line when they've got no striker quicker than Ibu. Therefore, but all of their strikers are quicker than Matip. So Matip could be, he doesn't play the line as well as Matip, but he's got the pace to get back in if a Martinelli or a Saka get through. Would you think of that as a choice for the centre back?
It's a very valid argument, and that's how we've done it in the second half. But the rebuttal to that is Arsenal are pressing monster as well. And when you got Arsenal pressing, you like Martinelli, Lacazette, Saka, they press like demons, even Odegaard as well.
There's some holes in their press, though. I don't know if you saw Match of the Day, but they did go through it, and there are some holes in the press.
But that's why
where you can play through.
But that's the further reason why you play Matip.
Yeah,
there's no one who can break a press from the back like Joe Matip. No one.
Yeah.
No
that's a very good point.
Who can pick out passes, who can control the pace of play, everything. You know, Virgil is the switcher. He's the big switch man. Like, he can switch it to Trent, he can switch it to Small, whoever is out wide. But the one who breaks the lines is Joe Matip, and it's so underrated. And not only with his passing, as we know, Drift, when he goes on mazy, elegant runs, you know what I mean?
Yeah. When he clicks into gazelle gear and he just goes prancing down the Serengeti, bro. I love it.
Absolutely. So if it was like a team like, I don't know, someone who plays deep but has quick forwards, like West Ham, I would see the relevance of Konate in this game. But because Arsenal like to play on the front foot, press, to break that press, you need someone really comfortable on the ball, and that's why I think Matip will get the nod.
Yeah, man. I mean, you saying that, it does actually make sense, man. It does. Let me just get through a couple of these super chats before we get into Arsenal. Big up Zabiri as always. Who that? Uncle Grizz and Uncle Drift. What you say? Zabiri.
All right, I can take it. My skin, man.
What are you saying, Laurie? No fake positives to learn from this time round. You may get a slap tomorrow. Big ups a
Hey,
beer
I
as
don't
always,
think so, you
though.
know. I don't think so, bro. I am genuinely confident. Like I said, I'm trying not to be overconfident. One, because I'm aware of what Liverpool bring to the table, and two, I don't want to be fall flat on my face. But I am, like a lot of Arsenal fans I've spoken to, we are quietly confident, modestly confident even. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this game. The fact that we're playing at home as well, I think if we were going to your place, I'd be a bit more apprehensive. But definitely, I'm just speaking to people. Unfortunately, I can't go to the game tomorrow. I wasn't able to get a ticket. I'm hearing that tickets are changing hands at ridiculous prices.
Tell me about it.
The atmosphere tomorrow is going to be unbelievable, which is something that you can't always say at the Emirates, I must admit. But tomorrow it's going to be bang on. And the vibe in the camp, not just the team and the squad, amongst the fans, is really good right now. There's a real feel-good factor come back to the club in the recent weeks. And I can't wait, man. I'm genuinely pumped for this game. In terms of formation and team, I think we're going to do the old 4-2-3-1. We're probably going to have the same team as we've had in the last couple of games. The only change might be if Tommy gets back. And then obviously he'll come in for Cedric. But I think for the most part, the team will be the same as we've had in recent weeks. That seemed to work as well. Because as you say, you don't change a winning team. But obviously, if Tomiyasu, I heard he's on the verge of coming back. If he's available, then they might. But then again, would you bring Tomiyasu? But if he's coming off injury, he's not played for a few weeks. Would you stand down Cedric? Cedric's played well. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, he must have nightmares of Jota, right, from the last game.
But Laurie, didn't they do that in the League Cup where Tomiyasu was rushed back? And
yeah, exactly. And I'm not always a big fan of that. You know what I mean? Like any sport you play or any walk of life, if you haven't done something for 2 or 3 weeks, to just expect to step in and show the same levels, especially in a place as technical as that defensive position, is difficult, man. You know what I mean? Especially when you're up against the likes of Jota and people like that, and Salah and Mane and you know what I mean? Louise and people.
Well,
like
Tomiyasu was the one that Jota embarrassed in the League Cup game.
All right.
Oh no, I mean, so maybe it was a bad idea to bring him straight back in.
Yeah,
you know
well, this
what I mean?
is what I'm saying, man. I'll be tempted not to. You know what I mean? I'll be tempted to have him on the bench and see how it goes. You know what I mean? Right, I'm seeing he's 100% out. There was some speculation that he might be back. But
no, he's not 100% out. He's not. 100%.
Yeah, I didn't think he was 100%.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's wishful thinking on Andra's part.
Yeah, exactly.
See, we got you guys shook, man, putting out false statements.
But you know what the Tomiyasu thing? He's 6 foot plus, isn't he, Laurie?
Yeah, he's very physical.
So
very strong.
it will help in your set pieces because that's
yeah.
because we're one of the best around at set pieces. So Tomiyasu is going to be needed in set pieces because Ben White ain't the best in the air. No. Gabriel's good.
Yes. Although you say that, but we've got a new set piece coach, and since he's come in, I think we've not conceded. I think that's the stat. We played over 100 games with this guy. 100 games, but X amount of games with this new guy in charge of set pieces, and we've not conceded a goal from a set piece in a long amount of games now. So that's obviously
we fix that tomorrow.
So that'll be one of the better set piece defensive teams against the best set piece attacking team. So that'll be very interesting.
Yeah, everything all over the pitch, man. There's big battles to be won all over the pitch, which is why, like I said, I mean, it was interesting to talk. You're talking about your pressing game. Well, we do have a high energy pressing game as well. I would say that Lacazette is probably not quite as sharp with it as some of the other guys. That's just by virtue of his age and stuff like that. But
he's smart, though.
He is. I was going to go on to say he does do a good job. He's had to change his game a little bit. And I would also say, this is just my thinking, that the fact that he's heavily into this pressing game thing probably sacrificed some of his goal-scoring attributes, if you ask me.
He's your Bobby.
You know what I mean?
Is there Bobby, isn't he, Drift? He does very similar to job how Bobby Firmino.
Yeah, that's what he's turned into now, isn't it? Yeah. As he's lost his pace, he's obviously realised that he's got other ways that he can contribute. And I mean, to be fair, it seems to be working at the moment. It seems to be working. I can't hate on the guy. Seems to be working. I mean, if he gets a new contract, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, not only that, he's been given a new lease of life insofar as he's the captain of the team now. He's obviously one of the more senior players. He's embraced the role very well, and he's very popular again with the fans. Because there was a time when Lacazette, a lot of people were not really feeling him in terms of his goal scoring and stuff like that. But now he's almost like he assumed this different role. So he gets a bit of a slide in terms of when he doesn't score, because people appreciating what he's doing for the team. So in that regard, it's kind of worked out for him all right. Rather than just be judged on his goal scoring, he's been judged on other things as well. You know what I mean? So that's helped him. I think from my perspective, though, and this is my own view, I think that the manager tomorrow has got to be very proactive with his substitutions. Now, I think we may have had this conversation off air, Drifty. I may even have mentioned it on previous shows with you, but I'm one of those Arsenal fans who are a bit disappointed that Nicolas Pepe doesn't get more minutes. I see a quality player there. I think he's almost criminally underused at times. I'm just hoping that tomorrow, especially if things are not 100% going our way, the manager deems fit to bring him on. And when I say bring him on, I'm not talking about the last 10 minutes when you're into that desperation phase. I'm talking about proactive, use him as an impact sub, use him high up the pitch, get him to go after the Liverpool defenders. I mean, he can cause you problems, no doubt about it. But
he came off the bench against Wolves and changed the game and then just never played again, isn't it?
Well, this is what seems to happen to him all the time.
And he's got a lot of agendas, right?
Enough and this and that and rare. I like, bro, the guy's genuine quality.
Arteta seems to have a lot of agendas, no? Like if you go through the Arsenal teams, there seems to be a lot of agendas from Arteta. You got a lot of players that he has an issue with, innit? It's really strange. Like,
it is strange to me, man. I think he's almost criminally underused at times. And again, when I say that to certain man, they always try and throw things back at me like, yeah, he don't work hard enough. He's too inconsistent. And I always say to them, well, how do you expect someone to be consistent if they're not getting regular game time? It's very difficult for you to be, even from a psychological point of view, you're always going to be on the bench, right? And then you know that if you do get brought on, invariably it's going to be for the last 10, 15 minutes. And the pressure is on you in those 10, 15 minutes. You got to do something seismic in order for you to even have a chance of starting the next game. That must be a very difficult position in which to operate, man. You know what I mean?
And this is the reason why I tell everyone to put respect on Origi's name, because that's been Origi's entire Liverpool career. But yeah, he's got more big goals than 60-70% of the rest of the squad. So that's why I always say put respect on his name, man.
Although to be fair to Origi, you know what I mean, when you're behind the pecking order in terms of guys like Salah and people like that, I don't think he can really
he knows his place. He knows his place.
More acceptable. But with Pepe, even when we have not been playing well, this guy can't seem to get a look in, and I'm struggling as to why, because he's a phenomenal talent, man. I would say at Arsenal, in terms of ball players, like ballers, Pepe and Odegaard stand out as the two outstanding ballers. I know people will look at Saka and, Smith Rowe and people like that, and Martinelli. Those guys have a different type of energy to Pepe. But in terms of the ball at his feet and what he's able to do, he's a very mercurial player. He can do things with the ball that a lot of those other guys can't do. But for some reason, Drifty used the word agendas. I'd hate to think it was an agenda, but the manager don't seem to trust him. And that's unfortunate, because I think he's an excellent player if given the right opportunities.
Nah, I hear you, man. Let me just get through some of these super chats before we move on. Messi FC says, maybe Julian was right. Arteta is the vaccine. Big up Diogo. Malat, Drift and Grizz, big up as always. Zabiri says, Laurie, is Arteta certified or does he need more time?
I'm kind of 50-50 with Arteta. I would say this. At the moment, you have to say he's doing a very good job. A lot of people are pointing to the the Aubameyang situation, saying, "Look, he was absolutely right." Rare. I have a different view. I don't want to go into it because we could be here all night if I went into my views on that. But what I would say is that at the moment, he is proving to do a very good job. But I would say we need to wait until the end of the season before we start giving him his flowers, because at the end of the day, man, we still need to nail down this European spot. Now, I would say that prior to the start of the season, I would have taken a 6th place finish. I would have taken a Europa League spot. Yeah. It's based on our previous 2 years, we finished 8th. And last season was particularly disappointing. And certainly the way we'd started this season as well, 3 losses back to back, it was looking pretty dire. And there have been peaks and troughs since then as well. But at the moment, things seem to be working out. The vibe is good. There's a good energy around the place. It's looking like we might get 4th place. Even if we don't win tomorrow, I still think that it's in our hands. And if he gets 4th, you would have to say that's a very good achievement. And even if he gets 6th, to me, he would have done enough to have, retained his position as manager. But it's funny because it's kind of fallen into our lap a little bit. Some of the results from the other teams have gone our way. You've seen
Man U and
Man
Tottenham,
United
definitely,
and Tottenham implode at different times. So it's almost left that gap for us to ride into to get that 4th spot. And I would say that if we don't now get it, it's it's amazing. People will ask questions as to why we didn't. You see what I mean? Whereas a lot of people, myself included, if you'd have said Arsenal finish in the top 4 before the start of the season, I'd said very unlikely. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you're 4th with 3 games in hand, even if there's only a point in it at the time with 3 games in hand, from that moment, if you don't get 4th, it's an absolute failure. It just
is it
maybe
though? If we finish in 6th, some people would say, well, listen, we haven't achieved, the holy grail of a Champions League, because we haven't played Champions League football in God knows how long. However, there might be other people who say, well, listen, at the end of the day, at the start of the season, I'm sure when the targets are being drawn up, even though the chairman has been on record as saying that there was no double, I can't believe that. But I'm pretty sure that target they would have said, listen, man, we would like you to get 6th place. So
targets change though. Grizz, obviously you can attest to this. When we drew and then we lost to Leicester, we said, all right, we reassess, let go of the Premier League, get 2nd place, let's go win the Champions League. Here we are, a couple of months later, targets have changed. Now we're back in the title race. It's crazy, isn't it? Like the Premier League just throws you these curveballs.
Yeah, and disappointingly, we went out of the cup competitions, so we don't have those distractions. So we've been able to zero in on the Champions League spot. And at the moment, like you said, if we don't get it, it will be deemed by a lot of people as outright failure.
Not by me. I've been saying it for ages and ages, and you'll notice some people call me Grizz Teta, and that's why because.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of Arteta, and have been for a little while. I'm not jumping on a bandwagon now.
Can I ask why?
Yeah, you can. I think he's a fantastic coach. I think he's a young aspire. I think it was a brave call by Arsenal because they went down the experience with Unai Emery, and for whatever reasons it didn't work. And then they had to make a decision either to go for a experienced man like, let's just say, Ancelotti, or someone out of the younger generation who they're going to put their trust in. And I think he walked into probably, you'll know far more than me, but probably one of the most split, toxic teams in terms of players, egos, the weak mentality team. Like everyone knew. Drift, how many times did we used to talk about playing Arsenal, bully them up a little bit, game over. Get the first goal, we smash another 3-4. And not only us, everywhere Arsenal went. Yeah, everywhere Arsenal went, you knew teams away to Burnley, teams away to, Leicester, Liverpool, you get smashed everywhere you go because of the weak mentality, because the team wasn't unified. This guy, Arteta, had one of the hardest jobs in English football because Arsenal is an institution. To bring you guys back up to remotely to the levels that you are now, you needed someone who was going to be proper zoned in his job and his role, despite all the noise from media, fans, everything. And I think he's done a wonderful job. And you're right. I had them 6th at the start of the season. I said, if they finish 6th, I think that's a very good season, because look at the teams around you. Look at the squads around you. Look at the money invested by them teams. Yes, you've spent money, of course, but they've spent money, so they're entitled to be better than their positions that they were last season anyway. So considering all of that, and you know what this is falling into, like, it's like saying, so look, Liverpool were out of it, Drift, yeah? Like, let's say 6 games ago, 7 games ago, right? We were 12 points behind. Man City have lost 1, drawn 2. We're suddenly back in it. If we finish the season as winners, do we say, oh, Man City about us, they're rubbish, they lost it, oh, they lost it? No, we pick up ourselves, because we had to win those games to capitalize still. It's not as though they lost points and we lost points. No, we capitalized. We've just won 8 games in a row, conceded 2 goals. We're a bad boy team. Arsenal, say what we want, others around them have faltered, that's their problem. Arsenal have just won 5 games in a row. It's one of the hardest leagues to win 5 games in a row to. Ask the managers them. Premier League is the hardest game to string 3-4 wins in a row. They've just done 5. I think, look at the attitude of the squad. Look at the unity in the squad. Look at the way they press. I'm telling you, man, this guy, you stick with him. I said it from time when he was getting killed and slaughtered. And me and Turkish always argue about it day and night. And I said, you guys need to put some respect on this guy's name, man. And there's no way. Look, if they finish at the top 6, disaster, Laurie. Absolute disaster and serious questions. In fact, he won't survive that. Yeah. If he finishes at the top 6, he won't survive that. But if he does,
well, you make a very interesting point. Yeah,
anything above 6,
I think he would survive. You know, I think he would.
Okay,
because I think that you can see he's got a very good working relationship with Josh Kroenke, and I don't think the Kroenkes would get rid of him even if he didn't finish outside the 6th place. That being said, the fans would be very disgruntled, because I think, if I'm being honest, I think with Arteta, it's been how can I put it? It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride with the fans. A lot of the fans, you know what I mean? Because there are some hardcore Arteta fans, and then there's been a lot of other fans who have not been that impressed at the various stages of the season. So I mentioned it at the start. The start of the season was awful. I can remember being amongst fans after the 3rd game when we lost, saying, look, you know what, we might need to start looking at a new manager already. You know, I mean, fair play to the club. They stuck with him, and now he's turned it around. And at this present moment, things are looking good. However, we all know how this Premier League works, man. You know what I mean? It can be a very capricious league. Things can go up and down in the space of, you know what I mean, a game or 2. Momentum in this league is very important. And what I would say as well is that even though we're on a very good run of form, I'm cautiously optimistic, because if you do a deep dive on most of those fixtures that we've had, most of those games, and again, I'm not trying to take anything on from Arteta, I'm just keeping it 100. You would have expected us to get results against most of those teams. Yeah. I mean, I know you can look at the Wolves game and, you know what I mean, and when we went down to 10 men and those are very good wins. I get that. But you speak to most Arsenal fans, they would have been expecting us to, if not beat those teams, not lose. And like I said, the way things have opened up for that 4th place, you've had United and Tottenham sort of semi-imploded in recent weeks. I know United had that good win at the weekend, but you know what I'm saying. So things have kind of fallen nicely for us. But it's up to us now to capitalize. And my worry is that if we don't, that kind of negativity towards Arteta may come back, because people say, listen, man, you had 4th place. It was ours to lose and you've lost it.
Yeah, he's getting it.
And trust the club's fortunes in your hands going forward. Whereas
if you don't get 4th, he's getting smoked, Laurie. He's getting smoked. If you don't get 4th, Arteta's getting smoked. He will, because of the position that he's in. You're not 4th with same games played. That makes it a completely level playing field. Having 3 games in hand, and a lot of people will go, well, Arsenal's games are difficult, but you've got to play the exact same teams Man United do. But you've got the advantage of their games in hand, whereas Man U's aren't. So it's all there for Arsenal.
In hand, you know what I mean? Like your Tottenham and Chelsea and United and things like that. Those are not easy games. And like I said, momentum is very big in football, in any sport, but particularly football at the top flight.
Yeah.
How many times have you heard of managers, you know what I mean, they suddenly enter a bad run and it's like they can't get out of it. They end up losing their job, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Remember Frank Lampard at Chelsea last year? I think
he might be on to do it again.
To us. That final defeat to us was like his third on the bounce or fourth or something like that. And he was sacked. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. Look at Graham Potter at the moment, man. I remember it's funny because I remember speaking to certain Arsenal fans, and I'm not one of these people, but I can remember having a conversation online and speaking with fans earlier in the season when things were a bit ropey for us and it looking like we weren't going to do too much. Graham Potter, on the other hand, at Brighton was going big guns. And people saying to me, I'll tell you what, Laurie, get rid of I'll take Graham Potter now. Now look, Graham Potter, I think, what was it? They have no wins in their last 5 or 6 games. And Brighton fans are airing out their frustrations at him.
He's a quality manager, though. That's going to happen at Brighton. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, just quickly before I get your score predictions, let me just get this last super chat and then I'll ask you lot. Big up AKY. Says we fielded our second team versus Arsenal Cup and they didn't throw a glove and got slapped. So imagine us at full
keep
strength.
That same energy, yeah? Keep that same energy.
If we play to our potential,
like that, if he thinks it's going to be like that tomorrow, you're mistaken, bro. Trust me. It's not going to be.
Whatever, no. To round it up, give me your score prediction, bro.
You know what? That being said, I was running my mouth. If I'm keeping it 100 like I like to do, I mean, listen, man, me and Drifty go back a long way and we're cool and we talk offline. So I'm not gonna chat what I wouldn't say to him in private. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm going for a high scoring draw. 2-2 or maybe even 3-3, because I think that the significance of this game is that obviously no team's going to want to lose it. But I do think that the energy of both teams, they're both young, vibrant, high energy teams. I think an exciting game is almost guaranteed. And I think there will be goals in it. And I think it's going to be one of the best games of the season. But I think, I'm going for a high scoring draw, 2-2, maybe even 3-3.
Cool. Grizz, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said about the high octane and the high energy and excitement. I think there's going to be goals. Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna say 3-1 to us though.
Okay.
After all that.
Well, there you have it, people. It's definitely going to be interesting.
What are you saying, Drifty?
I'm a little impartial to agree with you, Laurie, on it might be a draw. I really hope I'm wrong. I'm going on history. We draw at the Emirates a lot. I think that's what's making me kind of lean towards a draw. Not because I don't believe we can win the game, but I do remember times when we've been so much better than you and somehow you still managed to get a draw out of the game. It's happened quite a few times at the Emirates. And that is the only thing that's making me a little skeptical. So like a 1-1 or a 2-2 or something like that, I don't think that's an unrealistic scoreline.
Yeah. I'm just reading the room and I'm feeling the energy of the fans and I'm connecting with a vibe that suggests that we're not going to lose tomorrow. I just feel that, you know what I mean? And that, like I said, it's not often, certainly in recent years, I've been able to feel that way when playing Liverpool. Against the other so-called big hitters, Chelsea and people like that. I guess City as well. Whenever we play City, I'm always a little bit apprehensive, almost a little bit of trepidation there. Same goes for Liverpool. But this time, I'm actually reasonably confident that we'll go out there and do ourselves justice. And I don't think we'll lose tomorrow. I honestly don't.
Well, there you have it, people. Stay tuned. You know what I mean? And if you want to put a little bet on it, there you go, guys. Make sure you hit the link in the description. Get over to FansBet, guys, and, let them know you came from us. But, Grizz, Laurie, love as always, guys. You know what I mean? I really appreciate it. Hold up, bear with me. Get rid of that. Oh, appreciate it as always, boys. You know what I mean? It's been a pleasure.
Shout out, thanks for having me on. And shout out to Grizz as well, man. Always great to be in your company, bro.
No, man, always a pleasure. Chat, man.
Yeah,
Definitely,
next
man.
time
And I mean, everybody knows where to find AFTV, but we'll put the link in the description anyway. Get my man Grizz up in those subs as well, guys. Make sure you get over there and support the Godfather. As always, so boys, it's been a pleasure. Loved having you on. And we'll see how it goes tomorrow, man. Until next time, people. Peace.
looking forward to it.